Hi everyone out there in YouTube land, I am M.L.S. Weech, and this is my new video blog, FanTalk, where I get to talk about science fiction, fantasy, and entertainment in a little bit of a different way. On my blog, I talk about books and movies, but I'm more analytical in my approach because I'm trying to help storytellers become better storytellers. Here in this blog, I get an opportunity to just geek out and talk about movies the way I would if I was just sitting down talking with my friends or their colleagues about the entertainment industry that I truly enjoy. For my first blog, I'm going to talk about Star Wars. I'm here in Arizona with my family on vacation, and I had a chance to go watch Rogue One with my sisters just before the holiday season really got to an official kickoff mode for us. A quick caveat. I'm going to talk about this movie as if I just saw it, so if you have not seen it, what you need to do is hit pause, go watch the movie, then come back and finish watching so that you have the opportunity to offer your opinions down in the comments below. For anyone who, by an explanation I can't possibly understand, doesn't know what these movies are all about, Rogue One takes place before the original trilogy, and it really just explains how Princess Leia got her hands on the Death Star schematics. The first thing that got me right off the bat was the lack of a scroll, the 3 paragraphs that you've seen in front of all the videos and in front of all the Clone Wars clips. I was very surprised by this. I was sitting in the movie theater, and the first thing I said is, man, Star Wars fans are going to be furious about that. My sister had to lean over and tell me to shut up. The scrolling text is a fixture in the Star Wars universe. It's what prepares the reader for what's going on. It gives them a little bit of overlap. Now, I'm going to be fair. If you're a storyteller and you don't really know what has happened and what's about to happen, you probably didn't come see the movie in the first place. But I think most of the fans are going to be like me. They're going to see that scrolling text didn't appear, and they're going to be pretty upset by it, actually. I first encountered this when I talked to my brother about it, and there was a quick discussion. 3 paragraphs. There's always 3 paragraphs. It's 3 paragraphs. And it's something that fans come to count on in the Star Wars universe. So that's something that I saw and immediately realized I wasn't too satisfied with. It seems really ticky-tacky in the world of storytelling, but we're talking about the Star Wars universe. You can't mess around with what a fan expects when they sit down to watch the Star Wars universe. They see a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. They expect those trumpets to blare. They expect those words to start scrolling across their screen. It's what gets them jazzed up for it. So not having it really kind of disappointed me. The next thing I want to talk about is the rewatchability of this film. This is your last opportunity. I'm going to start dropping some serious spoilers, and if you haven't seen it, now's your last chance. Alright, here we go. Everybody dies. Everybody who isn't in the sequels or in any of the original trilogy movies, they don't survive this. Now that's really unfortunate because a lot of them are really awesome. They're great, compelling characters, but I officially stopped caring about them because they're all dead, so I don't have any reason to keep watching. I don't have any reason to remember who they were. I don't have any reason to be compelled to keep looking out for them in future films, and that's really disappointing. The major aspect of this is in the history behind Rey. There's already a lot of theories out there as to who her parents might be. Most people think it's either Luke or Obi-Wan. I'd be a big fan of either. That would also make a lot of sense. But as I was watching Rogue One, I looked at the main characters and thought to myself, what if they're Rey's parents? That would also make a lot of sense. It would be very entertaining. It would be very fulfilling. It would explain why this prequel is there other than to find out how the Death Star plans got in Leia's hands. Now, sure, it was cool, but I didn't have anything to latch on to. I don't have anything to watch out for in future episodes, and that was a huge bummer for me. The last thing I want to talk about is actually the coolest aspect of the whole movie. If you watch the prequels and you're anything like me, you were horribly disappointed. I wanted everything that was in episode 3 to be the entire prequel trilogy, and that's not what I got. I got a Vader that was demystified. I got a Vader that was kind of punked by his portrayal in the earlier prequel trilogy, and it was a downer for me. What the last few minutes of Rogue One does for you is remind you that Vader is awesome. He massacres basically an entire ship all by himself using nothing but his lightsaber and some really awesome force tricks, and that was thrilling. That was entertaining. And if I'm going to go watch this movie again, and I probably will because I have a lot of friends I want to watch it with, just so I can talk to them like I'm talking to you now. And what's happening is watching him do all of these things was a very entertaining reward for any fans in the entire saga. And that's something that I think a lot of people can take away from this. It's worth the price of admission all by itself. You wouldn't be missing out, I promise. So that's it for my first episode. Once more, I am M.L.S. Weech. Do me a favor. If you agree with me, or even if you disagree with me, make sure to comment down below, and I'd like to hear from you. I want to know what you thought. If you were watching the movie and you have some theories or you have reasons to keep watching based on what you saw in Rogue One, I'd also very much like to hear about that, because that's one of the main reasons I went, and I didn't personally come away with a whole lot. Also, do me a favor, subscribe on my screen if you want to see more of this. Feel free to hop over to my website, mlsweech@wordpress.com, or if you want to get hooked up with my newsletter where you get a lot of free content from the books and work that I produce, you can sign up for my newsletter at mlsweech@gmail.com. Thank you for enjoying. This has been FanTalk, and I'll see you next week.